Session. My name is Anne Granger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southwest Ontario, and I'm so excited to be with you tonight. I'm popping on just a few minutes after 7 so that YouTube can let you know I've gone live, and that gives me a chance to make sure that everything looks great. I hope you've had a great day here in Southwest. It was sunny but breezy, which was super nice. It said it was 30, but it truly didn't feel with it because it was really nice and breezy with. I actually got my new September to December catalog, and I sat outside while I watched it. I was so excited. It was so nice. Just writing here. Okay, if you're here, so today is Wednesday, July 29th. Can you believe that? Where did July go? So if you're here and you're watching live, you're going to see a live button up top. And if you're watching on the replay, shout out to those replay warriors. I appreciate you stopping by my channel to say hi and watch the videos. Welcome to the Stamp with Anne community. So tonight, I'm just trying to fix things here. So tonight, I am going to show you, so if you're new to my channel, welcome. What I do is each week I pick a product of the week, and then I just sit in my craft room on the weekend and I create. Sometimes it's technique, sometimes it's fancy folds. Oops, sorry, I hit my light. Where did I go? Sometimes it's maybe like just a whole bunch of samples. So I have really been enjoying that. It has truly been a lot of fun. So this week I am playing with the new stamp. It's called Extraordinary Original, Extraordinary Life Bundle, and it's in our May to August catalog, which is so hard to believe. This catalog is done on August 31st. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, where did the last 3 months go? But I wanted to show you the suite. I wanted to show you the products. So if you're new to Stampin' Up, well, welcome. Grab a coffee or a cold drink and sit and relax and watch us. But what I'm using tonight is I'm going to explain. So this is the suite. This is the beautiful Ordinary Life suite. Unfortunately, the suite is no longer available because this right here is no longer available. It was just one of those items that Stampin' Up just could not keep in stock and had problems getting it back in. But what I wanted to show you is that on this page down here was this bundle. And when I saw this bundle, I was like, oh my gosh, that bundle would be perfect for scrapbooking and card making. I'll bring it up a little closer here. It would be perfect for card making and scrapbooking. Now, I have to tell you a little tip. So when I buy product, it actually sits in a basket on my shelf because in the past, I have put it on my shelf. And then when Stampin' Up! Does their official retiring list, I pull that stamp set out and it has had no ink, no excitement, no life in my craft room. And I think, oh my gosh, I can't do that anymore. So this is how I keep track of what I use and make sure I create samples. So I was like, I'm going to use this set because it's a really good set for scrapbooking and card making. And if you're one of those, you're going to maybe want to, maybe you already have this set. Maybe you want to add it. With my crafting session videos, my goal with these videos is to get you in your craft room creating. This is video 262. We have been doing these since like when COVID started. I know that's the word we don't want all here, but back in 2020, 2021, I have been doing these videos pretty much weekly. And my goal is just to create and share with you. Sometimes you may have the same products as me and sometimes you might not, and that's okay. Because sometimes when I'm looking at my friends' cards on like other demonstrator friends, I like their card, but I might not have what the product they're using. So I just switch it out and make it my own and use products in my room. I can tell, I'm sure we can all say, if I say, hey, let's put up our hand, how many has patterned paper stacks? We have stacks. We have product we probably haven't even used. My goal is to help you get into your room and create and just have fun. Because I don't know about you, but life is crazy. we're all on budgets and we all need a little bit of happiness and joy in our life. And why would you not want to make a card and send a card? Because that's like sending a hug in the mail. And everyone these days could use a little joy and happiness and brightness when they go to the mailbox. All right. So tonight I'm going to show you this. I have 4 cards. One, we're going to show you the card we're actually doing, and I have 3 other samples. But before we dive into that, let me show you the actual physical products. So first of all, let's start with the stamp set. So first of all, this is my new grid paper. Look how it is huge. It actually fits the glass mat. So here's my glass mat. In the past, you've probably seen me use the glass mat, but I just got these new grid papers in and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna try them out so that it actually keeps my glass clean, which is not a big deal, but you can just use a chamois and wipe it. But I'm not a fan of how they slide. I might just have to put the whole pack down. Haven't decided on yet. All right, so here is the Extraordinary Life bundle. It is a beautiful one. So you've got this beautiful, got a couple greetings. It says, this is a beautiful life, noteworthy, one fine day, love it. Cheers to this, cherish this, top 10 in good times. I really like this one here because this coordinates with this die and you can use it as a journaling on a scrapbook page. You could even put it on a card and be like reasons why you love that person or reasons why they're so happy they're in your life. A lot of different elements. And then here is the die cuts. Let me show you these die cuts. They're super fun. Lots of different ones. There is like, you got shapes, you got, labels, you've got butterflies, you've got frames, you've got little flags and like, a whole bunch of different things. As I said, I really like this one here. I think I actually just really like it, just this set for that, but after playing with it, I really truly do like it. So that is the Extraordinary bundle. So you can buy it as a bundle or you can buy them individual. So you're like, hey Anne, I only like the stamp set, or hey Anne, you know what, I really only think I need the dies for scrapbooking and card making. You can totally get that. So that is that. And then here is the paper. It is the Beautiful Ordinary Life 12 by 12, and it is our designer series paper, which is aka pattern paper. Beautiful colors. Like I feel like these are somewhat of my colors. You've got black, basic black, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, Real Red, and Timid Tiger. So really nice colors. But what I like about this pack is it has some black and white, which means you can totally do a lot of different things. And tonight we're going to use this pattern here and I'm going to show you how to add some color to that. So let's dive in. Oh, we're not done yet. And here are the beautiful dots. Now, if you like embellishments, this would be a pack I would suggest because it has Flirty Flamingo, it has Lemon Lolly, Pool Party, and look how beautiful these Lost Lagoons are. Like I could not stop using them. I had to be like, okay, we're done using them. So let me show you the card we're making, and then I'm going to show you some products that go with it, and then we'll dive in. And I also have some other things to share with you, some housekeeping notes. So here is the card we're going to make tonight. I'm going to show you how to use blending brushes to create a colorful background. So as I shared with you, this is this paper right here. It's just black and white, but you can add color to that with some of our blending brushes. So I'm going to leave this here and I'm going to talk about some of the product that I used on it, and then we're going to dive in. So you can use any black and white paper if you had that, but you'll notice that I used some other elements. So the first thing you're probably going to notice is like, wow, and that butterfly. This butterfly is part of our new hot foil system. These are the hot foil dies, and I did a video 2 weeks back showing the hot foil system and using the dies and different products I have. This is called the Butterfly Flight, and Stampin' Up shared with us this is the #1 selling bundle, I'm going to say, from that product line. It's a really neat one. So you get the dies to die cut out the butterfly. If they're in gold like that, this means that they are a hot foil die and you're going to need a hot foil system to use them. And then you've got some other dies. What's really neat about this is that it has coordinating masks, which I think they just add so much depth. So you have 4 different masks that you can use to add color. Let me just put them in order here. And that's exactly what I did. I used the first mask to add my lemon lolly. Then I did the second mask to add my pool party. And then I used the third to add my Lost Lagoon. So when I sat down to create this card and I was like, what colors are in this paper? I was like, oh my gosh, I have those butterflies. Let's die cut them out and add them to my card. That is what I did. And then I used the stamp set, and I'll show you that because we're going to definitely show you that when I go into this. So let's create this project, and then I have some other projects to share with you. All the measurements and everything will be up on my blog. My goal is to have it up for you on Friday. I'm going to a demonstrator event on Friday, so I'm hoping that tomorrow I might have to do something tomorrow, and if that doesn't happen, then I'll definitely have this up on my blog by Friday. If not, it'll be up on Saturday. So you can always head over there. I always link the videos back to my blog, and then during the week, I do share with you. I tend to share Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then once on the weekend. All right, we are using basic white, 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. And we're just going to fold that in half, and then we're going to use our bone folder just to give it a nice crease. That helps keep it flat. I have a piece of that pattern paper from the Beautiful Ordinary, and this measures, and like I said, I'll put it in the video, but it's 4 1/4 by 4, and we're going to have it go, oh, maybe I made it a little bigger this way. Yep, that's the way I want it. So let's go ahead and put that down. So you can use any pattern paper you have with this project. Okay, so just like that. I have a piece of that pattern paper. Once again, you can see isn't that paper beautiful? I think that would make an adorable baby card, or like a fun summer page, or like a fun birthday. Imagine like cutting out birthday balloons and that. There's so much you could do with this. This measures 3.5 by 5.5, and it's actually going to go there, so we're going to leave that. I have a die from, I thought we would do a different greeting, and this is from, and did I grab it? I don't think I did. It's from the Nestled Essential Dies, which is one of my favorite because I'm a huge fan of anything stitched. On this one, I use the Everyday Arches. I was looking for a label or a die cut that worked, and when I was looking through my dies, I was like, ooh, this would be perfect, but I didn't really want that like rounded curve, so that's why I kind of covered it up with my butterfly. And then I have the butterflies. So I've already done those. Those butterflies were part of that, and they're done in Pool Party, Lost Lagoon, and Lemon Lolly. So let's put that over there. To color our, and I'm actually going to put this all out of my way here. Let's just move this. I'm going to move this over here. And I'm going to just move this over. Actually, I'm going to move these pieces over so I don't get anything on them. We are going to use our blending brushes. Now, Stampin' Up! Offers 2 different sizes. One is a small, this is the small, and then this is the large. I think this is just called the blending brushes, and then this one is small. If you were to ask me which one I prefer, I'm going to tell you I prefer the smaller one. I like how it sits on my finger and I'm able to work around it. I find this one a little bit harder. They both are the same, they both do the same thing. It's just a matter of which feels comfortable in your hand when you're working. A tip that I do, the neat thing about our blending brushes is that I can use this in Pool Party, I can go run it under water, let it air dry, and I could go use it in a different color. I just like having one brush for one color, so I use my label maker and I just label it so that I know. And I have them sitting, I received a long time ago a beautiful orchid, and it was in this beautiful pot, and it says love on it. That's where I actually put all my things because I think it's so nice. All right, so we're gonna start in, I'm just gonna put these over here. The first color we're gonna start with is Lemon Lolly. I found that I wanted to go light to medium to dark. I didn't really want a lot of the Lost Lagoon in my color. Ooh, look at that, I almost put look at that. Lost Lagoon in Lemon Lolly, that would have been, oh, goodness, thank goodness I caught that. All right, Lemon Lolly, with our Lemon Lolly brush, you're going to pick up, and this is the neat thing about having grid paper under you, is if you were to just pick up the ink. So I'm literally swirling it around to pick up the ink on my brush. If I was to go like that, I'm gonna get this big blob. That's not what I want. I want to blend it, and then what I want to do is blend and come off the side. So I'm just kind of going to do the corner, and it is better to go lighter than work your way into the darker image. I have a habit of like just going dark, and I find it really hard. So I'm trying to be very like cautious of when I do this and be like, okay, you only need a little bit. Let's do light touch, light swirls, and then you can go back. I like to swirl just around and around. So as you see, I'm just picking up and swirling and then going like that, making sure I have all that I want. And I think that's pretty good. Let's just maybe add a little bit more down here. I'll just kind of work that around. So the more you work it, it's going to blend those colors, which is, I think, is a really neat way. All right, so that's Lemon Lolly. So we're done with that. Next, we're gonna go to Pool Party. And Pool Party is my bigger brush. I'm just gonna set this here. So as you can see, when I was coloring, I had really good control over this. I find this one a little bigger, so you have to have a little bit more. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start and we're gonna work our way, and you can overlap that Lemon Lolly color. It's okay. Kind of come down, and I have to pick up a bit more. And then I'm gonna like just start off and swirl. Just like this. So there's no right or wrong. Like, it's depending on how much color you want on that page. And it's okay to leave some white spots because it's kind of like how the light would reflect if it was in the sun. All right, let's close up Pool Party and let's add in Lost Lagoon. So Lost Lagoon is a smaller brush. Now, Lost Lagoon, I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit here and there because it is a stronger color, a deeper color, and I don't want it to like really like overpower what I did. So I just kind of like swirled it around, and I'm like, I'm happy with that. I don't want to add too much more because I feel like it will make it too dark. So I like this and stay with the softer tone because I tend to make it darker than I actually need. So that is a quick and easy way of adding color to a pattern paper. Now, obviously it's not going to work with a pattern paper that has color, but anything that is black and white and has like designs like this, you could totally do that. So let's go ahead and secure this down. I'm going to bring that back in, and we're just going to put it from side to side, and we're just going to like go like that. Now the greeting, let's bring my greeting in. I'm just gonna put this, make sure I got this all good. Sometimes I have a tendency of not to make sure my adhesive is down on. And then you can just, like I see I have a little bit of overlap here. You can take your scissors. You have to be really careful. You don't cut your card base, but you can do that. There we go. Okay. So let me show you the greeting. The greeting I have here is a really good set. Look at that. See, this is what's going to drive me crazy. The thing. And it is actually from a set called Prayers and Promises. This was, I believe, an online exclusive that came out as a release. So it is still available. I love it. It's a great one to send someone a card to let them know you're thinking of them. I really, really like the greetings in this one. So let's see what, let's see what will fit, and then we'll go from there. And so, oh, that one might fit. Let's do this one. I think we're gonna, and this one says, I think this one says, praying that the Lord's promise will bring you hope and comfort in the days ahead. So this is a really nice greeting. We're just gonna put that down and pick it up. That's not straight. Let's put that down again. One thing about having a grid underneath you can, all right. And I am going to use black. I am still using our Memento ink. It is one of my favorite inks, and I truly believe you can use what you have in your craft room until it dies, until there's nothing life left of it. All right. Make sure I don't have ink on my finger. And I'm just going to bring this a little closer so I can see when I'm stamping. All right. So there is our greeting. Look at that. Praying at the Lord's promise. So I'm just going to put this away and I'm going to stick this over here and I will do that after. Let me close up this stamp set just so I can clean it up after. All right, so let's bring back in our project. We're going to pop, make sure I'm, oh, look at that. I was almost upside down. I've done that. I have done it where I've actually closed a card upside down. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and put our dimensionals on. Oh, look at that. I've got 2 dimensionals on. As I said, this is an easy layout that you could easily switch up. Sympathy cards I find are hard to make. Sometimes it's just easy to make them and then hand them out when you need them than to make them when you need them. But this would be a great Christmas card. Like you could easily switch out the patterns. Like even if you didn't want to color on pattern paper, you could easily put a pattern there, like a label, like an object. It could be a birthday card, it could be a thank you card. There's so many ways that you can use the layouts that I show you in our videos. Because that is I hear from like my customers and sometimes my team, they're like, I struggle when I go to sit in my craft room and I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to do this. And so watching videos is a great way to learn, but also just using some of the examples you see and making it your own is also amazing. All right, so we put that down. Let's bring in those butterflies. I think I'm just gonna put one big one right here because I like to do in 3s and I don't have another little one because I think I used it. I used it on another project. So let's just pop this guy up and I'm just going to fold his wings so he looks like he's in flight. And we're just going to set it kind of right there. And there you go. Oh, we need to add some embellishments. So we're going to use the Ray of Dots. Now I'm going to go with Pool Party just to make it a little subtle so that it's not so, popping out when, where is my, oh, there it is. Take a pick tool. This is my favorite tool in my craft room. I would love to know, do you have a favorite tool in your craft room that you pull out and go to all the time? This is one of mine. I love how it helps you pick up embellishments and stuff like that. All right, so there's 2, and the rule of thumb is you should do 3 because that helps draw the eyes, and you should create it in like a triangle because that helps draw the eyes also to what you're doing. So those are great. Look at those colors. You get 120. So look how fun are those? Like those to me are like and colors. I just love them. I have found out lately, I have been cleaning up like some product and I have tons of embellishments. Like I'll use like this and then that's it. And then ribbon. Oh my gosh, I need to start using more ribbon. All right, there is our card for tonight, showcasing the Extraordinary Life bundle and a quick way to add color to pattern paper, aka designer series paper. So what do you guys think? Which one do you like? Do you like the everyday, like do you like this one or do you like this one? So we'll call this A and we'll call this B. But let me show you some other samples that I did with this set. So when I sit down, I always tend to, first I'll go see what the concept artists do. So in the catalog, I saw this sample and I was like, oh, I really like this sample. And when I sat down to start creating it, I realized they had used the bundle that actually went with this suite. And I was like, oh, I don't have that bundle. How can I make it my own? I love the element of Love It. So I stamped this in Lost Lagoon and then used the dies to cut it out. I used those, I'm going to call these like notebook dies. I used those to cut those out. And then I brought in those butterflies. So as you can see, these butterflies cut out 5. So I have like them. That's the neat thing about one day if you just wanted to create with foil, you could, and then you have them for later projects. I brought in the Lost Lagoon. But I was trying to figure out, I saw in the sample, they had used like this, it was like a whimsical border stamp. And I was like, oh man, like what am I going to use? I wanted to look like the butterflies are leaving like a little trail. So I went to my stamps and looked, and oh my gosh, I found this one, which was Be My Valentine. Sorry. And it had this little swirl, and I was like, that is perfect for my butterfly little trail. So that is what I use. So sometimes, like, think outside what the box and be like, what else, how can I use these stamp sets in different ways? So if you have this stamp and you want to make a little trail for butterfly, there you go. It's called Be My Valentine. So that is the one I did from the concept artist. Then I usually go to Pinterest, and I fell in love with a design by Erica Serwin over at Pink Buckaroo. Thank you, Erica, for the inspiration. But once again, I didn't have that original bundle. So I was like, how can I make this my own? So I used the pattern paper. I brought in that die cut label that looks like the notebook. I added some twine, and I used the Everyday Arches, and I used the smallest die. Now I didn't want the die, I'm going to call it the curvy part, to be here at the end. So I was like, I need to cover that up. I used the Flirty Flamingo label that was in the Extraordinary Life bundle. I stamped the butterfly, cut it out, and I added in those dots. The Hey There Friend I thought was a really neat way to add, and they are from the Sincere Note Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. I have to tell you, these ephemera packs have been in the Stampin' Up catalogs for, like, I want to say like maybe a year and a bit. I bought them, but I've really never used them. But oh my gosh, I opened this pack, and let me just show you. They are actually die cut stickers. So you can just pop them out, and you can use your dimensionals on top, or you can peel this off and put it down. What I like about it is you can peel one side, put it down, and then put your other side down. So you get 2 sheets of these. So I just used the happy birthday. You're gonna see how I use that one in a minute. How fun is that? So a lot of great ones there. And then you had these 2, so different, like you've got some sympathy, some thank you, some just a note to amazing friends, like I miss you, congrats. Like it's kind of one of those packs that has all the greetings, but it's quick and easy for you to use. So here is where I use that Hey There Friend. As you can see, I just popped it up. I didn't peel off the sticker part. I just added the dimensionals. And they're great colors too, right? Like I see the Calypso Coral, I see like Crumb Cake, there's some yellows. It's so cool. So make sure you check those out. Like I said, I have not really played with them before, but I think it's one of those ones, like if you had it on your desk and saw it all the time, you would want to use them. All right, so there is my 3rd card. And then my last card was, I saw an idea on Pinterest, and I thought, oh, I really like that. I liked how they used the striped paper, and then they used this, like, I want to call it like a herringbone maybe pattern. But they put in a basic white to kind of look like it was like all together. I stamped my butterflies in Memento, and I colored them in Lemon Lolly, Flirty Flamingo, and Pool Party. And then I brought in one of those die cut stickers just to say happy birthday. Like, but what a quick and simple birthday card that you can make to give to friends. Maybe you're like, I need to make like a stash of birthday cards. You could easily make a bunch of these and have them ready to go. So there are our projects for tonight, but I did tell you I had a couple housekeeping things I meant to say at the beginning. I wanted to, and then I'll come back to this. I wanted to remind you about our product of the month. Whether you are a customer globally in the market to Stampin' Up sells, you can get the product of the month. So here in Canada, because I am in Canada, if you were to purchase 100 or more in a single order, you would unlock the product of the month, and you would only have to pay $7. This stamp set's probably like a $28, $32 value. This is the one that is current right now for the month of July, and it's called Begonia Bella. To me, they look like roses. I don't know about you, but maybe there are some roses that are called Begonia Bella. They are while supplies last. As this morning when I checked, that was still available. I want to show you what's coming in August. This is beautiful. It's called the Glow of Harvest, and it's designer series paper. You get 12 sheets, 2 each of single decided, and there is the number here. So whatever market you are in, you could unlock that with the value of that market. So here in Canada is $100 or more, but How beautiful. That's the perfect coloring for some perfect pattern paper for some fall projects. So I wanted to show you those. But let's go back to our project tonight. So I just want to do a quick recap. We used the Extraordinary Life bundle along with the beautiful Ordinary Designer Series paper. We used stamping blends and ink to color our pattern paper. That was our focus for tonight's project. Quick and easy way to add a little bit of color and just add a little extra touch to the card you're going to send. And then I showed you 3 other samples that you could use with this bundle. As I said to you, this bundle would be perfect for card making or for scrapbooking. I just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh my goodness. Anyways, I hope you had fun tonight in our crafty session video. I will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I will be picking next week. We're doing a technique next week, and it's going to be a fun one. So I'll do the technique with you, and then I'll show some cards that I've already made with that technique. If you want to find more inspiration or information on these projects, you can head to my blog, which is www.stampwithanne. It will list all the supplies I used. These cards will be up on my blog Friday. That is my goal, with the video link. If you like this video, please comment, like it, and share it with your crafty friends. We want everyone who loves to craft in a community, because that is where the magic happens. That is where the friendships happen. That is where we just have one big party. It is so much fun. So I hope I have brought joy to you tonight while you watch this video. So have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday. And don't forget, if you make a card, send a card. And I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.